All right, Abhigna, so you will have 7 minutes for your presentation. And then following that will be a 5-minute question and answer period where we have preset questions for you. So, all right, the time will start when you start.
Okay. So hello, everyone. My name is Abhigna Rao. I am the current Director of External Communications for the Resident Student Association, and I am running to be elected as the RSA Vice President. So before I get into my campaign a little bit about me. I am a sophomore rising junior. I have majors in neuroscience and communication, and I'm working towards a public health minor. A few of my favorite hobbies is graphic design, which I got to do a lot of this year through my position. I love making smoothie bowls. Swiffer Jets, because stress cleaning is one of the most satisfying things in the entire world. And my favorite food is cereal, and I use it as a topping or as a side dish for every meal that I eat. So those are some fun facts. Besides the Resident Student Association, I am heavily involved on campus through the honors program. So first, I serve as a Munson Fellow for the honors program. I live in Reading on the first year honors residence hall with first year honors students. And I serve as an academic peer mentor, as well as I also collaborate with other Munsons to program building wide. So that's something that I really love to do, and I'm doing it next year as well. I'm also a member of the student recruitment team and through the academic year, and I'm an honors peer advisor over the summer. And through both of these positions, I have the opportunity to present about my experiences in the honors program to admitted and prospective students and their families, and share everything that I love about the honors program and about the University of Delaware. So getting into my leadership experience a little bit, since I was just talking about honors, I thought it'd be a nice segue to share what I've learned through my involvement in the honors program. So the very first thing that I did as part of honors was become a first year fellow in Reading, my freshman year. And this position entailed a lot of building-wide programming and working with a variety of different people, something I really enjoyed doing. And I got to know pretty much most of the students in my building, which was really special. And I collaborated a lot with the Munson Fellows of that year as well. And I enjoyed that experience so much that I decided to apply and was fortunately selected to be a Munson Fellow this year. And this year I did a lot of the same building-wide and floor-wide programming, but something that I really enjoyed about this year especially was the mentor role that I assumed. So I was able to build a lot of mentorship skills, kind of helping first year honor students transition academically in, through the requirements and expectations of the honors program. Another thing that I was involved in my freshman year was community council. I originally started as a student communities liaison, which was a position that was newly created that year. And I got to collaborate a lot with floors specifically and with RAs. And then later in the year, some roles got moved around and I was elected as president. And this was the first time that I was able to spearhead some really great projects and work with such a close-knit group of people. So it was a really valuable experience for me because I learned a lot about project management. And some of my favorite projects that we worked on, aside from the diverse programming that we put together, was we got very connected to the RSA e-board of that year, and we applied for advocacy grants, and we were able to provide study supplies and whiteboard materials to all of the lounges in the building. We also were able to purchase 3 mobile whiteboards for the first floor lounges because we polled our fellow residents and learned that there was a lack and a need for those study supplies in the building, and those materials are still used today. So I'm really glad that I was able to be a part of that project. And finally, I was so inspired by my position on CC that I ran and was fortunately elected as the RSA Director of External Communications for this year. And this year, the majority of my responsibilities included creating marketing materials and upholding branding standards for RSA. I was able to work on some really great marketing products, and my favorite part of the position was definitely getting to network with this year's community councils, especially coming from a CC myself. It was really special to be on that journey with them and kind of see how people grew as a leader from their experiences on a community council. So moving a little bit more into my campaign, the positional responsibilities moving forward for a vice president on the e-board is, I kind of broke it up into three main categories. So the VP of the future will have to collaborate a lot with various groups of people in order to work with CCs in order to put on the inaugural ball and put together e-board socials. Something new is the historian responsibility of a vice president. This is mostly acting as the office manager, keeping all documents updated and maintaining the inventory of all the supplies and resources that we have. And arguably the most important is the operations role, which is overseeing a lot of the transition, rapport, and election processes, among other things. So my vision for this position is, I also broke it up into these three categories. First of all, collaboration, of course. I would really love to see RSA have stronger connections to the community council. Stronger connections to the community council. And the way I'd love to do that is, hopefully, if they're open to it, collaborate with the future director of digital marketing and communications to come up with a solid plan to increase membership and retention. Another thing that I'd love to do is expand the diversity of the e-board socials that we have with the e-boards of other resident student organizations. Oh, I'm sorry, registered student organizations. I think it's really important that we collaborate with a variety of different groups on campus. I'd love to invite e-boards to our meetings to speak with CCs. Not only would that allow them to potentially recruit new members, but I think it would really help CCs get some great ideas for programming as well.
All right, Abhigna, that is time. Okay. So there's a 5-minute question and answer period. So I'll start that. And the first question is, the RSA Executive Board is composed of 9 individuals that work collaboratively to develop opportunities and communities based around our 2 values, programming and advocacy. As a member of the Executive Board, how do you envision supporting these values if elected?
Yeah, I mean, well, first I'd like to say for sure that coming from CCs and being involved in different positions on campus where I've had the opportunity to be involved in those advocacy initiatives and be involved in so much programming, I definitely think that I have the ability to bring a lot of ideas to the table and support the future director of advocacy and the future director of programming, kind of sharing my ideas on what I believe will work and won't work based on the experiences that I've had.
Thank you, Abhigna. An important aspect of the role of Vice President of the RSA is collaborating with the Vice President of NRHH in the organization, planning, and execution of the inaugural ball and end-of-year banquets. How do you, if elected, plan to ensure the success of these large-scale events?
So, I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit. Would you mind repeating the question?
Of course. An important aspect of the role of Vice President of the RSA is collaborating with the Vice President of NRHH in the organization, planning, and execution of the inaugural ball and end-of-year banquet. How do you, if elected, plan to ensure the success of these large-scale events?
Yeah, so, well, first I'd like to start by saying through my position this year, I've had a chance to already collaborate so much with so many different groups of people and see what ideas other people have. I think the biggest part of collaboration is just being open-minded to other people's ideas and being able to kind of find compromises wherever you know, different ideas are being thrown around. So in terms of collaboration, I'm open to whatever the future VP of NRHH has, other ideas that he or she has. In terms of determining that or ensuring the success of the inaugural ball and other programming, I think early communication with the importance of the connections that are made through programs such as this, communicating that to the CCs early on in the year is something that I've had experience doing and would love to continue doing in the future.
All right, thank you so much.